No wonder many of you are not healing. You simply don't have enough time to. How can you heal in 20 minutes? Or how can you get information on how to heal in 20 minutes? According to a Harvard research study, it takes about 121 minutes for an entire doctor's appointment. That includes the travel, that includes just setting the appointment up, that includes paying, paperwork. It's shown in the study that you only get about 15 to 20 minutes to even speak to a provider once you're in through the doors. How are you going to heal anything in that little bit of time? How are you even going to understand what to do to heal anything at that amount of time? This is what the problem is. And when you have something as intricate and difficult and confusing as Eustachian tube dysfunction, tinnitus, and patchless Eustachian tube disorder, and even TMJ related problems, you're not going to get enough information in such a short amount of time. And this is what leads to the depression. Believe it or not, the offices are a tiny figment of why you have a little bit of depression. And let me explain why. It's not particularly the doctor's office is giving you depression. I don't even want to go there. I'm going to say that because you've gone to the extent of the 121 minutes, you've gone through all of that to speak to a provider to get 20 minutes of information back, and maybe half of those are only just going over things that you do in your daily life already. And once you leave out of there, it's shown by many people. I don't have an accurate number, but it showed that many people tend to fall off right after their doctor's appointment. A lot of times they come out of that doctor's appointment, and trust me, they are not jumping up and down with glory on, oh, I have a whole lot of things I can try to figure out to do now. And this is a big problem with this condition. This is why I devoted over 95% of my time and content to this condition and conditions, because of this very reason right here. There is no absolute way that you're going to be able to be equipped with enough awareness and knowledge and belief and confidence to even get close to healing of Eustachian tube dysfunction with 20 minutes of talking time. Now, 20 minutes is on the high spectrum, the high scale. That is what the survey concluded. 20 minutes being the high end of you being able to talk to a provider. Again, I would say 15 of that is just going through who you are as a person, your diet, things like that, things you already know. I would say the other 5% is really when the provider kicks in a little bit and says what you can do or can try or things that may happen. But that's just not simply enough time to understand what there is that you need to do when you have something of a condition of this magnitude that's so confusing for many people across the world. Everyone's reaching out to me. People are reaching out to content creators and coaches like myself, as opposed to reaching out to a doctor, because simply the process of trying to get to A to Z is so far few in between. And this is not to say that the doctor is your last or not as important person to go to, obviously. This is saying that in order to get just a little bit of info, I have to go through a whole lot. I have to go through an entire storm to get just a little bit of info. Now, it's not saying the doctor is the full problem. We have a lot that can be addressed in this. This could be staff training. This could be just the process of how that office functions. This can be the overwhelming amount of people needing to get in versus the amount of providers being able to be present and able to serve those patients. There's a lot of factors. So this isn't just a bash video to say that doctors are too slow and don't answer enough questions, but this has to be addressed because people are not healing. And when you're not healing, you're not going to find good results. You're going to first of all, you're going to put yourself into a mindset of depression. And so this is why mental health is on the rise. It's already on the rise in general. So when you segment this condition with the way it is, it just opens up your world for more problems. When you already are trying to deal with this condition, you really don't know what to do with it or about it. And so this is why I am here as a full-time advocate to be a resource for all of you out there that are feeling under the weather on how to get rid of this thing. How do I even start? Where do I start? If you're in this position and you feel lost and you don't understand what's going on, you've already seen a doctor, you've done all the steps, you're still confused, just know that it's a process, and it's a process that's worth taking, because you do get a lot out of it once you get through this process of trying to find healing. There's a multitude of things that need to be done, so don't expect immediate answers and ways to get over this condition. It's going to take a lot. I will say this: it's not a difficult commitment, but a continuous commitment. So meaning that it's not hard to do it. The hard part is staying consistent in doing it. So the difficulty isn't what it is, it's how long you have to do it for. And believe me, there's a lot of benefits that come with when I mean by staying consistent. Somebody might ask, what do you mean by staying consistent? I mean, like, improving your diet, improving your sleep, improving your way of life. This is ultimately going to be something you need to do regardless. So for me, trying to find ways to make myself better to heal from this condition actually helped me do that anyways. So you kind of get a 1-for-1, 2-for-1 kind of deal when you already may be falling off a little bit with your health. You may be subject to one of these where you're constantly doing this to your neck and you're looking down and texting and you're putting a lot of strain. A lot of you don't realize that just doing this, looking at your phone and looking down, is one of the worst things you can do to your body in terms of an extended functionality of the body. So meaning that you're not going to feel the effects of what you're doing now. You're going to feel it in 10 years, maybe in 8 years, maybe in 20. And so it's something that's really as important as keeping yourself. Use your eyeballs. If you go down a little lower, use your eyes will go down. They will go down. They'll move around. And it took me a while to learn this too. So don't expect to know all this stuff or be mindful of all these things right away. I don't want to sit here and talk as if I've been the subject to perfection of this condition for many years, and I'm teaching you how to be that way. I'm showing you how I messed up in hopes that you don't do the same, or if you are already doing the same, give you some keys and some tools and some ways to avoid and reverse some of the things you're doing, because it took me 3 years to figure it out. And if I was really that intelligent, I probably would have done it in half the time. So I really want all of you to know that because of your shortened doctor's visits, because of your lack of exposure to the provider and your ability to express really fully what's going on with yourself, get digging down deep into that chart to really get into all of what's going on, because of it being so shortened, it's just going to extend how long you deal with it, versus if you leave that appointment and just dig deep into what you have to deal with. I honestly only use the providers to do things that I wasn't trained to do, like MRIs, X-rays, and things that I thought were going on. And once they did their professional work, I started taking over full time after that. So I hope this video was very helpful for you. If it was, I hope that you take time to subscribe to the channel, leave a like, share the video to those out there who are struggling. This video is really just to tell you that, not to say you won't get help from doctors, but just don't expect too much, because most of the work of getting in and doing all of the hard laborious work is going to not match the information you get from the doctor. So I recommend stay at it, do your research, stick to people that are helping you, give yourself a chance to understand what's going on, and remember, trust your body and go back to the basics. Take care, everybody.